the past 6 years on working with the Ethics Commissioner and disclosing what is necessary to disclose, and we will continue to be open and transparent with Canadians. Recognize that this was a situation that shouldn't have happened. But my desire to protect Canadians and at the same time to protect the integrity and the independence of our judicial institutions remained throughout.
Hello, Menaka Raymond-Wilms, Globe and Mail. Mr. Trudeau, for several years now, the number of sitting days in the House of Commons has been below average. So why are you continuing this trend by waiting until November 22nd to have MPs return to the House, especially since you say you want to get back to work?
I think, first of all, Canadians recognize that we've had a pandemic for the past year and a half, and that has directly affected the amount of sitting days in the House. But despite that, particularly with a hybrid approach to Parliament, we've been able to get historic supports out to Canadians by working collaboratively with other parties in significant ways. This is my third federal election as leader, and they've all been in the fall. This is the longest we will have in terms of weeks of House sitting following an election. I look forward to working with other parties in the House on getting big things done for Canadians. As we've demonstrated, this government has gotten to work right away after the election to deliver on vaccine mandates, on supports, on many important things for Canadians, and we'll continue to do that. I will highlight, however, that it will be extremely important that everyone be vaccinated when the House returns. And from the announcement of the return of the House, if someone who didn't get vaccinated, has an MP who hasn't yet gotten vaccinated, chooses to get vaccinated with the first and then the wait and then the second dose, they should be able to return to the House in time for the return of the House on November 22nd, because it's important that we be keeping everyone safe. The extraordinary celebration that today we had over the weekend, in which I apologized for not being there with her and her community for this important day. Going to apologize again for a incident in the House this evening. Commitment to ensure that there is a national standard for a proof of vaccination certificate that will be issued by every province and territory so that people can travel domestically, but particularly internationally. And today I'm happy to confirm that all provinces and territories have confirmed that they will be moving forward with a standardized national proof of vaccination. As of today, so far we have Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and all three provinces, all three territories, Nunavut, Northwest Territories, and Yukon, who already have put into use the national standard for proof of vaccination. You can download it onto your phone, you can print it out, you can ask for a copy by mail if you don't have those capacities, but you are now able to show proofs of vaccination immediately in all those provinces, and all other provinces have agreed and are working hard to come online so that as Canadians look to start traveling again, there will be a standardized proof of vaccination certificate that, as we said, we will be picking up the tab for at the federal level, and created by the government in which Mr. Kenney sat around a cabinet table. So he himself contributed and approved of the current equalization formula that he's now stirring up sentiment against a few years later. I find that the kind of politics that is not necessarily helpful at a time where this federal government has delivered more supports across the country, including to Alberta, than any government in history. And we will continue and are continuing right now with members of the Canadian Red Cross and the Canadian Armed Forces present to support Alberta through the very difficult times they're going through, linked to decisions that the Premier himself made and didn't make over the past few months. It is puzzling to me that there are people out there who think that just because they are members of Parliament They do not need to keep themselves, their loved ones, or their constituents safe when the vast majority of Canadians have done the right thing.